into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey! What? Oh!
That's what I'm saying. Houston. This is Houston. If y'all don't know who this is, y'all need to get your mind right. This is none other than Young Lyric, son. Young Lyric from the rap game. So we're going to get into this introductions. We got, man, I'm telling y'all, I'm so excited about this show, but not only the show, the guests that we have. We've been so fortunate because, you know, we're amazing. The show's amazing, and the guests are amazing.
And we're killing the guest game right
now.
now.
I mean, and we're killing the guest game. But right now, I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves, and you can find me always on social media at The Poet Saint next to me. He was absent last week, but he's back in his house. My boy Nino Llanera.
Y'all, I'm back. It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm excited to be here, y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited that you are here. Of course, on the other side, my boy JG, the talented Josh Johnson. What's up, man?
What up, y'all? You know what it is. It's Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media at JJ the Talented on Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter and Instagram. And of course, on the far side, always holding it down, Mr. Be Your Own Dad himself.
Hey, I likes that.
You likes that. Jimmy V, baby.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy V. I can be on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Make sure to always continue the conversation and leave comments on this video because we do have a special guest today.
We do have a special. We actually have two special guests. That's how amazing we are. So none other. Y'all heard the song, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to bring that back because I just was like,
let's
get into that. But none other than H-Town's finest. We have Young Lyric in the building.
What's up, y'all?
And she is on fleek, so shout out to her, of course, you know.
On fleek.
On fleek.
Coming to stores near you very soon, but you can catch it right now on YouTube. And of course, we said we had another guest.
Yes, we did.
She can't come by
just
herself.
one. We got two.
You know what I'm saying? Because she's too fly. And she's a minor. She can't talk about herself. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Lyrics manager. Give it up for Mitchell, everybody.
Hey,
Mitchell, I see you, Mitchell. I see you with the chain.
I'm glad you brought that up. I see the chain.
I see you, man. I'm so excited y'all here, man. Y'all don't even know. Like, I really was saying we have to have Lyric on the show.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
We had to. We had to.
Every week.
We had to. And my thing was like, I was like, it's gonna be a blessing if we can get the Skype situation.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, I prayed. Oh, I prayed.
Yes, you did.
And the heavens came down.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Lyric is here in the flesh, son. It ain't no hologram.
I'm gonna need you to add like publicist and talent booker to your resume.
Oh man,
because you've been killing it for us.
You know, it's a blessing. It's just we just blessed over here, son. We blessed.
That's just what he
Good
did.
people, right time, rap game. First of all, let's get into it. This was a great show, this particular episode, because they talked about marketing. And
So important.
I think marketing is so important, extremely important. But I want to holler at Mitchell first, because Mitchell is the man, he's the manager. Mitchell, to you, you know, you've been doing this, I think, for a while. And how important to you is marketing when it comes down to this business?
Well, you know, what I've learned over the years is that really marketing is everything. You know, without that, I mean, that's how you get, you know, what you're trying to sell out to the people. At the end of the day, it's all about money. So you got to find a way to make money, and marketing is the way. You know, right now it's a lot easier because we have social media, which is basically free, a free way to market yourself. So, you know, it puts us on almost an even playing field with the majors in that, you know, we can do the same things they're doing by attacking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. And so, you know, people are able to see us immediately, just like they see people signed to a major deal. So marketing it's super important.
Super important, and I'm glad they touched on it in this particular show episode because I think it's important, and I like what they're doing, what JD is doing. You know, the formula that he's making with every single challenge that he gives them, and this was hard because literally they had to mix up managers with the competitors basically to kind of work that out.
Super entertaining.
Wow. Super entertaining. So down the list, we had Shane was with Super Peach.
Right. Oh man.
Papa Lewis was with Mulatto.
Right.
Yeah.
We had Mitchell was with Poopy.
Yep.
Shout out to Poopy. Nikki was with Young Lyric, and Precious Peach had Nico. I'm gonna shoot it on over to Young Lyrics. You had Nikki.
Right.
What was your thought process? I mean, you guys have now been in the house approximately 5 weeks. You knowing each other, good feeling of how each other is. When you got her as a manager, what were the thoughts going around at that particular time?
When I got Nikki as my manager, I mean, it was I didn't really care because, like, the whole time in the house, she always says how much experience she has in that area. So I feel like it was a win because if she know what she's talking about, then I expected to be high on the list that week. So
It's so funny to see how the kids were so cool with the switch. Like, y'all were good with it. And the parents, minus you were cool with it too, Mitchell.
Yeah,
but like a lot of the
Straight up cool.
A lot of the rest of the momagers and dadagers were like, they were tripping. They had more of a hard time than you guys did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all were just like, well, I know who I am. Let's just make this work. I love that.
Make it work.
That's a good.
Well, I think it just goes to show too, because and I remember him saying at the beginning of the show, it's like you don't know who is going to be your manager, who you're going to end up working with. Right. And so I think it was a good challenge to see if you could work with someone else, including someone who you're competing against.
And the reason he did that was because his justification for it was that Lyric is known in the house for being the shy one, and paired with Nikki, who's outspoken one, it was supposed to provide a good balance. Right. And on that shy note, though, I wanted to ask you: are you as shy as they portray, as they're showing us?
Not at all.
It's the cameras.
Yeah.
It's the cameras.
I mean, I'm not shy at all. They just feel like I'm shy because I don't talk a lot. But I don't like to talk. That's just me because I feel like my actions and my numbers speak for themselves. So I don't gotta talk.
Okay.
So wise.
No,
so
don't
wise.
talk unless necessary.
That's that Houston swag though. Like people from Texas are just like that.
Like they laid back.
They're laid back. And we were talking about your style. That, like what was that, week 2 when they changed their style? And I was like, oh, I could totally see that. You know what I mean? Like that's just how they are. Like out in Texas. I have family out there. It's like called what is it, like luxury leisure, where you're just in sweats and like Timbs all the time.
Yeah, like what's understood ain't gotta be said all the time. If you're good, you don't have to brag about it. People will see that on their own. So
a lot
we
of
can
people
show you better than we can tell you what
they just talk. But I don't feel like I gotta do that. I just peep the scene and just let it speak for
themselves.
So
Exactly.
wise.
That's some maturity right there. That's some maturity right
I'm
there.
telling you, man.
She said a very interesting thing. You said you didn't mind linking up with Nikki because she always spoke of her experience, right? Now, we know someone else in the house who actually claimed to have a whole lot of experience, but they ended up dropping down in rank. But, well, we'll check back on that later on. So go on ahead there.
So, like I said, everyone's paired together. So, of course, you have, the whole house is going to work out. Everybody's kind of feeling each other out, what's going on. I thought it was interesting because, and we can talk about it now because it's right in line. Mr. Shane, he's clashing with, he was already having beef with the Peaches. Right?
Yeah, the Peaches.
he was having beef with all the Peaches.
Right.
And,
the Peaches.
and
Not
so
his favorite fruit.
now he has Super Peach that he has to do. And of course, or to manage. And my thing is, this is how I was looking at it. This was a challenge. This is a challenge that was a one-time thing. This is not something where you had to go and like, oh, now you have to switch for the rest
of
the
show.
You know?
Exactly.
And I felt like people, and it's funny because we do talk about, you know, the talents, the kids were better off than the managers, the parents who were adults.
Way better off.
And they were the ones that were bickering and arguing and like, you know, wanting to overstep their bounds. And I mean, and Nikki did the same thing. You know, she did it in her way, you know. But Shane, of course, he thinks he's the end all be all.
Yeah.
And so he thinks he's the best manager in the house. Right. And so with that, you know, I think it hurt him because he did not do good in that challenge.
No.
He did really bad, actually.
So basically what you're saying is the managers have a bigger ego than the kids themselves.
I think so. Now that we were really getting to the end of this game, of this particular show, I think that the managers do, in the sense that they have been the ones that's been, you know, facilitating their talent. You know, which is their children or people that are close to them. And so I think what ends up happening is they get so invested in that that they can't, there's no change about them. Right. Shane is a prime example, and what we saw, and you guys can confirm.
Well, that's what I was going to say, some of the managers.
Yeah.
You know? Not all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like they're living vicariously through their kids.
I said
that's what I was saying.
Episode 1.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
The kids got to go out there and do that work. Right. They have to perform. Right. They got to study these raps. It's not you. I mean, really, you're supposed to fall back.
Right.
Or at least that's my take on it.
Sure.
Fall back, handle the business, and let the artist do what the artist is supposed to do.
Right.
But,
absolutely.
you know, some of the managers in the house have trouble with that, and y'all see
I like how you put that.
And I think too, and this is in, you know, of course, all across the world, we've seen that young talent that has their, you know, managers who are their parents. Yeah. It's pretty common. But I think that it does come to a line where are you invested in this person because they're talented, or are you invested in them because this is your child? Right. Because a lot of time, I think it's hard to separate the two. I know, you know, when I was my budding rap career, and my mom was my manager. No, I'm joking. But no, I mean, no, really. But I really think that it comes to a place where you do have to separate the two, and if you have a problem with that, then you're gonna. I think it's gonna be the detriment to your child.
Right. Yeah. And on top of that, take yourself out of it. Don't, like you said, don't live vicariously through your child, because a lot of times what I've seen in situations like this is the parent once upon a time had aspirations of doing what their child is now doing. Right. And for some reason or another, it didn't work out how they wanted it. So now they're pushing that on their child and trying to live out that through their child, but for themselves, not necessarily for their child. Now that's not in every situation, but I have seen that. That happens a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Happens all the time. So, as we mentioned before, Nikki did really good with you. So what it looked like. What was the format? I mean, you said, you know, she obviously, you know, she made her claim as far as how she was, having all the experience. Did she live up to what she talked about?
Yeah, she definitely lived up to what she talked about. Like, in the meeting, she was hitting all the key points that she needed to hit. She learned everything about me that she needed to know for the meeting. So, I mean, I think she did really good when it came to me.
How much time did you guys have to like sit down and talk with each other and kind of put that plan together during that challenge?
Like a day.
The night before.
Wow.
Like not a lot of time.
No,
it didn't seem like it was a lot of time.
Mitchell, now we know you linked up with Poopy. Speak on how you were able to get ready to present him.
Well, when I was told that I was gonna be paired up with Poopy, I was actually excited. I feel like Lil Poopy is actually one of the most marketable kids in the house as far as his look and his swag and his style. So I thought I had it easy, you know, really going in there. But then, you know, they hit me with, you know, the stuff in his past that we're trying to get away from.
Tough,
And, you know, his attitude also a little bit, as far as, you know, he's used to making his own decisions a lot. So, you know, I knew that would be a challenge, but, you know, I was pretty excited to work with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Poopy doesn't seem to take direction too well. Is that? Am I the one who thinks that?
I mean, well,
whatever
you know,
suggested to him, he's
I mean,
always
that's
like,
definitely
nah.
how they're putting him out there, and like we said, you know, there's a lot of truth in that. You know, he's like an old man in a little kid's body. You know, he's so wise.
Jerry vibe.
He's
We talked
real
about that.
smart.
We talked about that.
And he's wise beyond his years. So, you know, if he gets something in his head, I don't know his sign, but he's kind of like a Taurus. He's, he just, he's stubborn with it. And wants to stick with it. A lot of times he's right. So
it'll work for him and it can work against him. But it's a tough coin toss, right?
I mean, but when you're dealing with somebody like a Jermaine Dupri, that's a genius, and you got to know that, okay, now I got to listen.
Right. And I think with someone like Poopy, it's just over time because he is so young. And we're used to having things, and maybe, when he's so little and started doing this, and you get catered to, and kind of like no one really tells you no anymore. And you get to that level, it's like, no, you really have to listen in order to further your career. So I think it's just a matter of time with him. Because, I mean, Papa Lewis, he said it himself. He's like, Poopy's like that. When Poopy gets something stuck in his head, that's what happens. And it did work for him. Like in one of the challenges when they had to get the outfit from Goodwill, he was kind of like, no, this is what I want to wear. But he won that challenge.
Poor Poopy, that's like one time out of, I've seen maybe 3 or 4 instances where he's kind of not gone with what was suggested. I mean... And what we've seen so far, he's kind of been in the bottom half of the hit list every time. So
he won the one when the one I just mentioned,
the stylist one,
right? But then he did kind of fall under. But like you were saying, Mitchell, he is probably the most marketable of the kids, and if you think about it, a lot of times that can carry you, far. But it carries you to a certain point, and then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, where do you go from here?
But he's also the youngest, so he has more time to develop, and like you said, once they start working with him.
Good point.
Sure.
He's up against some 17 and 15.
That's true. That's true. But I like how you treated him though when he didn't want to take his hair down, but you didn't push the issue further than it should have gone, because you're like, you know what?
Well, I mean, you got my kids, so I can't put my hands on them like Lyric, like, hey,
take the break down.
Let me help you out.
When you're fighting a losing battle after a while, it's like it's nothing that I can say that is gonna make this kid do it. So let's just get to work.
And it seemed like a good manager philosophy, because at the end of the day, it's the artist's decision what they want to do. If you can't get them to do something, then hey, it's your career.
Yeah, especially if it's not your kid, because they can fire you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm, he can get out of here.
Right. That's true. Getting to the point which I really liked, because it really showed everyone's hustle game when you guys were trying to get the votes
for Global 14, right?
Global 14
inside the mall.
And shout out to Lyric. You were like really, because we talk about the shy thing. She already dispelled the myth. She's not shy. But when it came down to the nitty gritty, you really went in there. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, me and Nikki, we were basically just hustling around everywhere. Like, I would go up to him and I'd be like, look, I'm a 15-year-old hottest kid artist on the internet right now. My name is Young Lyric. You can look me up on YouTube. I'm on World Star Hip Hop. I was named the best 14-year-old rapper alive on that. So then they were like, okay, tell me more. So then I would like start rapping for them, and that made them want to sign up instantly though. Like as soon as they heard me spit, they just walked over to the table. So
you showed them.
Yeah,
you showed out.
Yeah,
you showed
better
out.
than I could tell them.
Right.
So wise. She's so wise. No, I think that's dope, and I think that speaks a lot to your character, to who you are as an artist. I think it's important. You have to have confidence, but you also got to be able to be pliable. I think it's a good mixture of both. Because if you don't have any swag, it's gonna be hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to kind of do what you do. You could be the best rapper ever and never get on the mic because no one knows who you are, because you don't push the envelope. So I think it's dope that you did that, and I just wanted to shout that out because that whole shy stuff, squash. Squash that right now. Squash it. So
set the record straight.
We get into the hit list when all is said and done, and we actually got kind of a situation like last time where there was 2 people in one of the categories. So when I saw 4, I was a little nervous.
Were you thinking it was like 4? Like 4 was gonna be the?
Well, I thought is someone going home because
last
time,
they spoke about that last episode.
And when you guys saw that too, I mean, I know that some of the stuff you do know ahead of time, some of the stuff you don't. When you saw 4, were you guys worried at all?
I mean, I wasn't worried that it would be Lyric, but I was worried for Poopy because Poopy's my kid this week. So, I was worried about that because they had been talking about possibly sending somebody home. So, that did add, some more tension to everything.
Right. That makes sense.
I was a little surprised though, because maybe it was just the fact that they hear like Poopy even thought himself that he got the last position. But in the meeting, when you were pitching him to Shanti, you seemed, out of all the managers, the most knowledgeable about your client. And even they were surprised about, the questions that you were asking back to them.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but they did base it just on
numbers.
The numbers, right? That were coming out from the mall.
But
14.
What you want to say?
The numbers are inaccurate also.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, I don't
Yeah, those
know.
numbers say.
I don't know. We checked over 14 yesterday.
Let's hear them.
Yeah.
So,
The discrepancy between number 4 and number 1, like Poopy was like maybe 24 or something like that.
Right.
24 to 72.
And then
It's
the
like,
first two
geez.
had like 72.
Yeah.
The first two had
50?
72.
Like that, yeah.
Lyric came in second with 50. Super Peach was
When I
third
wrote the
with
hit list,
30.
we're gonna get there. What I'm just
My
saying.
fault.
You're saying that's not accurate though.
well, I
Was
mean,
that-
we don't know. We don't know.
know.
Right as of now, I think Lyric has the most on Global 14. But to answer your question, as far as my management style, and you know, all the managers say they're the best, but I look at it like all our kids are in the same place right now. So we're pretty much all equal.
Right.
You know, and if you really want to say who's the best, I feel like, I mean, I'll probably say I am too. You know, so I'm not mad at anybody for saying that.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I mean, it shows. I mean, like I
Right.
said, it shows in that meeting. I feel like, I mean, I'm really not a real manager. Yeah, I don't have no other clients besides
Sure.
Lyric. I'm just really a dad trying to support the talent and the potential that I see in Lyric. So
Sure.
really, in a meeting like that, if she's the pro and she's the marketing guru, I want to learn from her, and that's why I'm asking, well, what do you think?
Right.
You know, I'm trying to see what she would do, and then, you know, do that.
Right.
And so that's why I think, you know, I think that usually works when you humble yourself and
Right.
try and learn. I think you'll go further.
And I put this down too on my notes that you did ask a lot of questions, and I think that's good because if you think you know it all, you're not going to learn anything.
No, not at all.
Because like you said, everybody's at the same level. Nobody has a deal at this point. I don't care if you had 5 deals before you got there. Everybody's on the show is at an equal playing field. Everyone's trying to get a deal, but at the same time, you're trying to get experience on, like you said, you don't have any other clients. This is your child. You like, you know, you embrace what she has to offer as her talent, but you have to learn as much as you can in order to facilitate her to take her to as high as she can go.
Right. And you have to be open and willing to learn. Like if you go there thinking you know it all, you're not gonna learn it. I think you would be in the same place, but
Right. Yo, can we talk about Shanti really quick though?
I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, Shanti in the beginning when I first saw her, when y'all met her, whatnot, she was in a blazer. She looked totally different. I was like, okay, you know, she's been in the game for a while.
Right.
She looked totally professional. Then all of a sudden, she's at the mall. I'm like, is that Shanti? Like, she was in a flannel. Her hair was in a high ponytail. I was like, oh. And then
It was much more flattering. I mean, in my opinion.
No, she looked great. I was like, who's that? Oh, that's Shanti.
and then I got on a suit jacket because I'm thinking we going to some kind of corporate event. You know, here we are at the mall. So
You were getting ready. And then during the hit list, she was like in sweats. She was chilling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is totally different. Like,
She knows how to mix it up.
Every
does.
scene, like
Oh my
her
God.
clothing
Yeah.
got more and more relaxed, but she looked good.
Yeah.
no, she did. Definitely.
I mean, that just shows where where she's at. I mean, the thing is, you one way, in one place, another way you got in another
Right.
place, and that's how you can reach everybody. I think that's dope. So going back to the hit list, so there's 4 numbers, and in 4th place, unfortunately, is
Love Poopy.
Lil
Love
Poopy. Were you
man.
surprised?
Sorry,
How did you
Poopy.
feel? How did you feel?
yeah, I was surprised because our meeting went so well.
Okay.
They complimented me. You know,
Right.
you're the only one asking questions.
Right.
You know, everything's good. We went back. We made like a 16-week plan, marketing
wow.
plan for
Wow.
Poopy. I mean, I was
There
ready
you
to
go.
go. So
Yeah.
I was definitely surprised. I thought we had done a little better. But I was surprised every week.
Yeah.
I hardly ever agree with
Sure,
the hit list.
makes sense. Number 3, and granted, correct me if I'm wrong, but are these just based on
Numbers.
the numbers?
Yeah, because
Right.
otherwise
That's
you
what
wouldn't
they
have been.
said.
Right. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
It was
so,
just
right?
based on the numbers. So clarify that.
Yeah.
So number 3 was Super Beach.
Right.
Super Beach. And number 2, Lyric.
Yeah.
And I think some of the the critiques or the feedback was that you had much improvement.
Right.
And I think that was saying to help me out, but was it saying to like you were coming out of your shell, or what they thought was out of your shell, or was it just you turned it on more? What was the situation? Where do you think you got that feedback from?
I think it was just of them thinking that I'm coming out of my shell.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that's basically just what they think, like their theory that they have, that
Sure.
I'm coming out of my shell. But at that point, we were just getting more to the rapping stuff.
Got
That's
it.
where I do best. That's where I like to perform. So
Right.
Oh,
that's what I do best.
There it is.
speaking of perform, you and Nico killed it
Yeah.
at the high school.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they?
We
though?
talked about that last week.
Yeah.
I
Killed
was
it, straight
super
up.
impressed. Like, but
That song was really-
like
I was
happy.
not just
Yeah.
because she's here, but let me pop both my collars because the first episode,
Right.
did I not say I said Young Lyrics, a dark horse.
Yeah.
Y'all watch out for her.
Right.
Did I not say that?
You
Roll
did.
the tape.
You
Thank
said
you.
it.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm
we
just
all
saying.
said-
No, I'm just saying.
And we continue saying that every
Smart
week,
man.
though.
Yeah.
We agree, definitely agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and I think too, it's just one of those things, like you said, your style is different, and it's not what they were used to, and so they just had to, like you said, you had to just show them.
Yeah,
And once it came time to perform, that's what it was.
Yeah, if they give her an opportunity to perform, then that's when
Yeah.
she's gonna come alive.
If this wasn't based on numbers, I would have gunned you at one alongside Mulatto, because the way you and Nikki worked and the way you were doing the same thing with Papa Lewis and Mulatto, I would have gunned out at one.
Right.
If it was based on both, I would have, and you and Poopy, I wouldn't have put you at 4. Definitely,
Right.
No.
You would have been,
not at all.
a couple up there as well too.
I think that number, the whole number thing.
I wish it was based on both.
I mean,
Yeah.
see, there's other factors too. I think
Sure.
me and Poopy, I think we went out maybe last too. I don't know what order they showed on TV.
Sure.
But, so people had already been hit up to go sign
I
up.
see.
You know what I'm
So you're
saying?
getting the tail end of the people.
yeah. So we had a little disadvantage in
Got
that
it.
too.
Oh,
No
yeah.
excuses. bro.
Yeah, it's all
You
good.
know.
And so number one, it was shared by Nico and Mulatto, and like we said, it's based on those numbers. I'm not mad at the whole thing. I do think, I should say that it was combination
On both, yeah,
of
that's
both.
what it was
I
too.
think that would have been a better. But I understand the whole thing was about marketing, and this is a social marketing website, and so the whole point was to see how many numbers you can get on that particular website.
Right.
Which is why I want to know. Jermaine said numbers don't lie, and she said the numbers were kind of false interpreted. So, like, how off are we talking here? Are we like 10s, 20s, or?
Yeah, we took 10s, 20s. Not very much. I mean,
Not very much.
it could have changed after the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that time, they could have been legit. I don't want
Right.
to start a controversy.
Sure.
Like that.
I want to recap.
Right.
Yeah, but right now, Lyric has the most.
Yeah.
I have the most.
Today.
So this
Okay.
is when you say
Look
right
on
now
those
she has the
reports.
most.
I have
This is something ongoing then.
On the website,
Right. Yeah.
So even though it started from the show, it's been
Yeah.
something that's been
Absolutely, yeah.
After
Because
that.
I
Global
get it now,
website
okay.
exists. It's out there. So
Okay.
any kids who look that up can go on there and follow her
Oh,
at
dope.
any time.
Right.
So
Oh,
the
okay.
numbers could be going up today as we speak.
right,
I
and
get it
she's
now.
right now
Okay.
number one.
Yeah, right now.
We have the number one
Number one.
Number one on
here on our
social-
show today.
Hey, won't he do it? Won't he do it? So we got a little bit more time. I kind of want to just kind of see where Lyric came from, and just with you, Mitchell, did you see kind of the potential early? How did this go about with this whole marriage of her talent and you becoming you and your wife, of course, kind of cultivating her?
Well, kind of goes back to what y'all were saying in the beginning. My brother and I, we also had a rap career.
Okay, right. They
A
did
little
something.
something.
Yeah, so
Right.
So when she was a baby, that's when we were trying to get on and making music. And
Okay.
just her, I would think her being around that all the time just helped develop that love for music within her, which I would then see as she's running around the house rapping or dancing. And this is at 4 and 5 years old.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this kid loves music. Or like, even as a baby, when she would be crying or something, we could put on like a beat that I was writing to, and then she'd be quiet.
Really?
Like, yeah, like seriously,
Wow.
like that. So I'm like, man, there's something about this kid. And I got 2 other kids also that I just don't see, that same love for music. So
Sure.
I knew she had something ever since she was a baby. I would say about maybe 5 or 6 is when, I think my brother kind of wrote her a little rap. It was like, go spit it and let her actually do something that she could hear. And from then, she was always, write me a rap, let me go do something, let me go do something. And so we're still trying to rap on be on. So, it's like, yeah, whatever, Lyric. You know what I'm saying? Dude, here, take this beat, go write something, go do something. And I think she might have been like 9 when one of my friends was probably hearing the same thing. Like, man, your daughter is dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to shoot her video. I'm like, well, shoot her one then. You do video. He's like, man, I'm finna just do one on my computer. So he took his laptop and he just filmed a little quick video and it ended up getting picked up by World Star and YouTube.
Right.
We got like 200,000 hits overnight, which me and my brother could never accomplish in years. So she basically retired us with that laptop video. And since then, it's just always, we always saw that we could get more bang for our buck putting the money and resources behind Lyric.
She'll take care of you later on. Right?
Now, Lyric, of course, you remember all of that. What's you know, he's saying that it was inside you, like to come out. Like, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I recorded the first song, I actually was 6.
6.
And
recording a song at 6?
I was playing.
I was
still playing with Play-Doh.
I was still trying to chew gum, like trying to figure it out.
And
right.
Yeah, I actually was 6, and then I just knew like from that day, like it's just like what I wanted to do. Like I was like, for sure, like this is what I want to do. And like from that day, we just kept making more. And then my older cousin also used to rap, so we used to get in the studio a lot together also. So like, but I just built a passion for it from that day, and so I am where I am
Nicki
now.
Minaj stepped on the scene to give her somebody to idolize and try to be like. So I think that played a lot into it too.
That's dope. So when the show came around, when you decided to do the show, and I know that you talked about, well, first it was your wife Olivia that was with Lyric in the house, and then you came on board. But I remember you guys talking about, you know, you're putting everything in her. Right. Was it an easy decision to decide you're going to do that and kind of pause your life for a few weeks to have her be on the show?
No, it was actually really, really tough because you know, at first, you know, just dealing with so many people, I didn't even know if it's a real show. You know, it wasn't like Jermaine Dupri called me. Right. Just, you know, those small production companies, we got this going on, you know. In the format that they told us, they said it was going to be more American Idol-ish, where, you know, or America's Got Talent. I was like, you know, that's really not what I'm trying to do. She's already got a huge following.
Sure.
You know, if y'all want to do a show about Lyric, we can do that. So, you know, so I had been telling them no a few times, actually. Like, nah, and then they came back with another format. I was like, nah. And then they finally came back, well, look, it's not going to be any elimination. You know, the kids will be mentored by somebody big in the industry. We can't tell you who it is, but, you know, they'll get a chance to showcase their talent for as long as the show is on without being eliminated. Right. And so I thought that would be a better look. And then, you know, hoping that it would be like a Jermaine Dupri or a Jay-Z or somebody like that. That would be huge. But then financially, you know, they said they wanted my wife. And also, she doesn't do music. So it's also like now sending both of y'all down there, like, and just crossing my fingers, like, oh my God, praying for the best. But I still thought, you know, with it being on Lifetime and, you know, gambling on, you know, it's in Atlanta. I'm thinking it's probably Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it would be a good looking act. I'm actually glad we decided to do it. Nice. But I mean, it took some sacrifice, though.
Oh, I bet. I think it's amazing just to see, and I'm not just you, but I think all the parents, even though, like, you know, you look at, you know, our boy Shane, and how, you know, who he is and whatever, but the love that you have for your children. You know, I think all across the board, all of these managers, you know, and even, you know, Papa Lewis with his godson being Poopy, the love that you have for your child, that you'll sacrifice anything to do because you believe in them, and you love them, you know, at the end of the day. And I think that's dope. And I love when you came on board and you kind of guys tag team. That moment when you were crying, I was like, your mom came and she's got to leave and your pops is coming in like that. I mean, I don't know, that seemed like, I mean, it seemed very genuine. It seemed very genuine. But I mean, I appreciate, you know, your presence on the show, what you guys did, what you know, how you came in. You were kind of like the equalizer. You know, I feel like he came in and it was like, what are y'all doing? Man, let's make some money. Let's make some music. You know, like really, that's kind of what you were about. And it seems like that's, you know, your personality. You guys agree with that?
No, definitely.
He didn't come in with an ego, or
an agenda,
touting himself, and you know, I'm all this and this. He came in, you know, he's gonna get the job done. He's there for his daughter. He's there to not really to make friends, but he wasn't making enemies either. It seemed like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I fully agree with that.
Yeah. At the end of it all, that's what kind of makes it a Lifetime, is that there's not a lot of kids out there who could, you know, have their parents be so supportive when they want to do something like this. It's super hard for people, you know what I mean? Sure. And people don't know how to go around it or make it work. But the thing is, sometimes it just might not work, but you're going to give your all to try to make your child happy, you know what I mean, because you believe in them that much. So I think that's what makes it like a Lifetime, you know, like a show. And all these Lifetime shows that do have, you know, the reality shows or whatnot, you know, even with all the bickering, or whatnot, Dance Moms and all this other stuff that comes along, at the end of it all, it's still family, you know, and then they're there for their kids or whatnot.
Absolutely. Shout out to y'all on that.
Yeah.
So before we cut out, if you want to basically talk about what Lyric has going on, you know, coming up, that, you know, social media wise, that the fans can check out, any new music, boom, here's the time.
Y'all can definitely. I'll let you do your Instagram and Twitter shout-outs. But Lyric right now, we just dropped a new single on Fleet.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube now. It should be on iTunes. They were saying they were a little backed up from the holidays. But, you know, that's out there. She has a new album, Princess, which should be dropping on the 15th. That has 11 tracks that I'm sure all the kids will love. And just, you know, keep watching the show every Friday at 10 Eastern on Lifetime. Rap Game. Shout out Jermaine Dupri, Queen Latifah. We love y'all. And where can they follow you, Lyric?
Y'all can follow me on Twitter at Lyrical and on Instagram at The Real Lyric Michelle, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Young Lyric.
Young Lyric in the building. So wise.
Right.
Yes.
Beyond her years. Won't he do it? Y'all, this has been our show. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. I'm super excited. I mean, we got 2 more episodes left.
2 more left, y'all.
That's it?
More
2
episodes
left?
I'm excited.
3,
No.
I think.
3.
Three?
Right?
Three?
That was
3.
5.
Oh, this is
I thought
5.
this-
Yeah, we got 3. We got
3? I thought this was 6.
We'll cut it short. We want
Okay,
more.
well, hey,
Matter
I
of
thought it
fact,
was
too.
my bad. It is 5. It is 5. This was the 5th one.
This was
we
5.
got 3
We got
more.
3 more.
So good. That's glad. There's
Yeah.
one more episode than I thought. Oh, won't we do it? Won't we do it? It just came to that episode. Just like that.
We might have something else after that, too. I ain't going to say too.
Oh,
Extended year.
Okay. I'm excited.
We're going to shut the internet down. Y'all been your host, Lem Gonsalves. Again, you can always find me at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Nino, where can they find you?
Once again, guys, it's your boy Nino. You can find me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and Snapchat too.
It's me, Joshua Johnson. Big shout out to Lyric and her manager, Mitchell. Thanks for coming in. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at JJ the Talented. Find me and follow me.
It's your boy Jimmy V. I can be on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Of course, big shout out to Mitchell and Lyric. Over the weekend, a few of us from the cast was able to actually step out with them, and we did grab a bite to eat. And I have footage. I'm gonna actually post that on my account at Be Your Own Dad right after this. Go check that out.
Check it
and
out.
make sure you comment, of course, like the video. And once again, guys, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we got Young Lyric's information. Mitchell, where can they find you, sir?
I'm on Twitter at Bad Actor Records, and basically, other than that, email me at badactorrecords@gmail.com.
There it is.
You want to spend some money with us?
About them
That's
coins.
been our show, boy.
All right.
We about that coin. Till next time.
We out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.